better than us. Nobody.
I want to focus on the things that have made us good all year long, an intensity that they can't match. And the other thing is the ultimate disrespect is when somebody takes what's yours. And this is our game, so that makes it so personal. Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3, dominate.
I need 60 minutes. 60 minutes to me. 60 minutes. No business, no mercy. Nothing but stop on the blood bubble. You got me. We're going to ring the bell. We're going to ring that championship bell. Motherfucking dog.
Here comes the pressure. Penix fires over the middle, and it is intercepted. Mikey Sainristil going the other way.
The legend of Mike Sainristil continues to grow.
JJ takes the snap, flips the ball to Roman Wilson after he takes a knee, and Michigan, the Wolverines, have won a national championship.
First and goal. Mahomes flings it. It's there! Hardman! Jackpot! Kansas City!
This was the Andy Reid special we talked about. He was saving all day. He's going to fake a motion to go across. And at that moment, he turns and goes back. Hardman, who they didn't have, right?
On this touchdown throw to Mecole Hardman, who started the season as a Jet.
And now, welcome everyone to the Huddle Up Podcast.
Last week we said in the locker room, nobody but the guys in that locker room knew how good this group can be. Now the whole damn country knows.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, Huddle Up Podcasts. It is August the 27th, 2024. We're back for our second week in the new live season, and we hope you are doing well. Head over and subscribe to all of our social media platforms. We're at Huddle Up Podcast on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. On Instagram, we are at Huddle Up Podcast Inc. On Twitch, we are at Huddle Up Inc. And we are also Huddle Up Podcast on TikTok. So make sure you're subscribed to us over there and following along with us throughout the season. We also have our merchandise over in our TeePublic store. You can check that out at the link tree in any of our social medias. That will get you the variety of merchandise that is over there, and we'll try to add some new designs this year as the year goes on, but check out what we have over there. I believe there might even be a sale going on right now, so check that out. Again, tpublic.com. Hit the link tree in our social media. So we are back for another one. No Matt this week, so we do have Mikey B back in the chair. So Mike, how we doing this week?
I've come to give more takes equivalent to NC State winning the ACC, but I will say I am right about one thing. Georgia Tech in the points, baby.
Yeah. We are definitely going to talk about that coming up. And speaking of that, Ernest DJ Christian, how was your weekend?
Pass. Terrible.
Are you having a better Tuesday than you did Saturday, though?
Well, my night got better, actually, to be honest, after that loss.
Your afternoon couldn't have gotten much worse.
Yeah, sorry about it. You know what? Thank God it's only week 0, right? And thank God I got 12-team playoff, not 4. So,
we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Student of the game, Kyle Nash, how we doing?
You know, I appreciate your intro. I mean, listening to you being a Michigan Homer constantly is what I've come to expect on this show. But the constant reminder that Patrick LaVon Mahomes II lifted a jet to the Super Bowl is going to be something that I want to hear every week because it's an uplifting story. I'm not taking shots at Macaulay Hartman. I'm just saying what it is. What's up?
Yeah, I mean, trust me, you will hear it every week. Not everybody could lift a New York Jet to to a Super Bowl. So that's I mean, that's
By the way, only one. Okay, go ahead.
Goddamn Jets.
Well, I was going to say, the Niners almost lifted a a red tail to wait. I had it right the first time to the Super Bowl. So there you go, in the form of Chase Young. But that's a whole other thing. Anyway.
By the way, I love that Matt's already missing shows already.
Season's over.
2 weeks in. Season's over. That's it. Done.
Yeah, there it is.
You're right. Florida State season is over.
No, it's not. More on that.
Well, I was going to say we'll talk about it, but
Yeah,
technically no. Reality, debatable.
We'll get that later.
We're going to run plenty of EJ Christian dunk Mikan drills here tonight. I know that's a basketball reference, so please don't throw your back out early, slamming it down here in the intro, Burn, okay?
True, it's early.
I'm here all night.
We're still good. All right, so let's move. I need to find a new soundbite for the news segment. But before we do that, programming note: next week, no Tuesday show. We'll be live Wednesday night, student of the game, the simulcast for the NFL preview. So same channel, same bat channel, not same bat time though. And then 3 weeks from now,
Hey, Avatar.
Since you mentioned the simulcast, I thought I should get the bell in. That's a thing we do here. At least that was something I was going to use to stall while Jim furiously figures out what happened. Did you? Okay, listen, EJ Christian, be honest with me. Did you attempt to drive the security van through his house? Are you that angry?
I don't know what happened to my camera.
It was on the brain, definitely on the brain.
So, anyways, but you mentioned the student of the game simulcast, Jim. I'm also inclined to announce the debut of the newest element and prop. There will still be plenty of voice acting, but Big Jim has provided me the architect of the Bing, according to Drew Willingham, the ultimate weapon. Let's go.
The man has a physical bell now.
Worth noting that wait till you debut it. Well, you did debut it already. Actually, that kazoo was very, very powerful on my podcast this week. That short got well over 1,200 views in 3 days.
My damn mind, dude.
Kyle the kazoo master over here.
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
Listen,
the kazoo king and the architect of the Bing. And we're gonna
for whoever wants
you sure
story, I would encourage you to listen to the Rocky edition of Required Viewing on the Hilarity by Default YouTube channel.
I missed that show.
That's got to be a new shirt.
Demosthenes will come back.
But other programming note: 3 weeks from now will also be Wednesday. So Wednesday, September the 18th, we'll be live as opposed to Tuesday the 17th.
Wow, we got Matt missing shows already. We got Jim trying to change days in the first month of the season. What are we doing?
There is no try.
No,
you don't have to show up on a Wednesday. You can.
I don't know this bastard here, the one who tells me to start up a second edition of the Student of the Game, by the way, comes out and then knocks us when we have a simulcast. I don't give a damn what the reason is. Okay, how about you just show some love to the pod that I built because you told me to? Yeah, exactly. Right on the cover of the Summer's Eve box.
Yeah, it's my fault. I apologize.
That one.
Kyle, let's bring it in. I'm sorry, Kyle.
Don't be sorry. Just be better. Like that's.
That will never happen.
I know we've been asking that for a long time.
Especially this week, ain't fucking happening. You know that.
That's true.
You're better than this.
You're not, Jim.
Better than this. At least I thought so.
Romy.
Are you talking? I was about to say you're talking to me. It's so confusing on that clip.
I know it is very confusing, but yeah. So new segment this year, as opposed to good, bad, and ugly. We're gonna try to like condense it, but maybe get some even better content out of it. Instead of doing good, bad, and ugly, we're gonna do what did we learn from the weekend that was. So, Mikey B, let's start with you. What did we learn this past weekend?
If you listened to last week's episode, you'll know that there was a certain conference in the NCAA that we all took shots at some point. What I learned here is it doesn't matter if they're playing interconference, outer conference, if they're playing a D2 school. The ACC is a goddamn dumpster fire.
This guy sucks.
SMU can't score. They're supposed to score 70 a game. Florida State can't figure it out. We just got the reminder that DJ Uiagalelei left one ACC school for a reason. Trash. The whole thing's trash.
Blow it up.
Fuck happened.
Jesus.
Yeah. Certainly not a strong showing. Certainly not a strong showing.
What great club
by the ACC.
Still plenty of voice acting for those that are wondering. I just
yeah. I mean, the nice thing for the ACC anyway, in the case of the Georgia Tech versus Florida State game, is one of their teams in the conference actually won that game. Now, the problem for the conference is it wasn't the one that they thought was going to be the good one. That there is the problem. But
week 0, season's over.
Well, at least we make things fun here in the conference. Come on now.
Yeah, I mean, sure. That's how you want
to call that, right? Silver lining.
That's how you want to justify what happened in Ireland. Sure, that's
bad.
That's totally fine.
It's bad.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I understand your point you made when you said it's just week 1 and there's 12 games. And
no, week 0.
There's no such thing as week 0.
We couldn't get. We're so bad. We couldn't get to week 1.
Look, I'm trying to help the smoldering dumpster fire that is Florida State. I'm trying to help you by saying you lost in week 1A. How about that?
No.
Week 1A, EJ.
No, right. Funny.
You have a chance of redemption in week 1.
I love it. But we don't deserve that.
Week 0, the same amount of wins that
Tuesday. Texas A&M for all the marbles by.
Oh,
well, that's all we need to hear from Dave.
Week 0, same amount of win as Florida State has.
But
deserve that.
The alarming thing, if you're Florida State, is I know Kyle talked a lot about the game in the trenches, with a lot of different teams last week in our prediction show. That's, to me, got to be the alarming thing with Florida State, because, man, they got pushed around last week.
Yeah,
on both sides of the ball.
And certainly on the defensive side, right, guys? Like from the good, say what you will about DJ Uiagalelei, and I understand that he did not have a great outing on the whole. To tie the team up at 21, he had probably the best drive of the game at the helm, right? Yeah. But then Georgia Tech's out of field goal range on 3rd down gains, 12 yards on a screen?
Mm-hmm.
Kill me now.
To set up the winning field goal attempt, which I mean, give dude credit. In college, it's a long kick, right?
Yeah, that was a hell of a kick. For regularly you'll see hashtag college kickers, and not in a good way.
Correct.
On a college football Saturday. Give that kid a bunch of credit for that one.
I will grant it. I'll say this as a non-baseball fan. By the way, I'll grant it was not as just stone cold as the bunt dropped by the Lake Mary kid in the Little League World Series, but it was a good kick. Yes.
Yeah, that may be one of the most perfectly executed bunts in baseball, man. And
the major leaguers can't do that. My dad would be losing his mind watching that.
If you're a baseball fan at all, go watch the replay of that whole game, because that was phenomenal baseball by those two group of kids, man. It was
if you don't want to bore yourself sitting through a whole stickball match, at least watch the end. That bunt was fantastic.
Yes, at least watch the last 2 innings.
Yeah, I was gonna say watch from the 6th inning on.
Yeah.
Yes, Kyle, we know we hate baseball. We know.
You should too, Mets fan.
I mean, I didn't talk to you about when we beat you guys 2 out of 3 last week, but calm down, Jim. Thank you.
So what? Orioles still in a playoff fight. Mets, ironically, kind of still there.
It is ironic, isn't it? Yeah.
EJ, what did you learn this past week?
What I learned is that I've been saying this for a long time, that Dave Mustaine's the greatest guitar player in the history of fucking metal. No, I'm just joking. No, actually, I'm not joking about that. No, because I told my that again. My day did get better actually on Saturday after the fucking shit show that Forrest put up on Saturday. Number one, see Megadeth in concert, loved it, and my takeaway this weekend is that not a good idea to bet teams to cover massive spreads week 0, which I took all the the opposite teams. Everybody who was 25 points or more took the opposite team, and I went 3-0.
You won something.
The dogs got that dog in them.
Yeah.
High
the dogs did very well on week 0.
Yeah, those big spreads on week
big.
on week 1A, and again where we're going to be at week 1B this weekend, because there is no such thing as week 0. It's
glad you
no
Allegedly.
such thing. There's no such thing. But run away from the big spreads this weekend as well. If you're a gambler. So
Now, Jim, you didn't make fetch happen. However, that was the best use of 1A, 1B on this show ever. Carry on.
Exactly.
That'll be the other one this year.
Correct. That is correct.
It'll definitely be the only.
It will live and die at the beginning of the college football season. That is correct.
Excuse me, Jim. May I have Rick Sanchez to approve that, please?
What? I'm sorry. What?
This
Rick
guy gets
Sanchez?
Which part?
This guy gets it.
Oh, thank.
Rick and Morty.
See, I know I'm supposed to.
Gets it.
I know I'm supposed to voice act some
Again,
too.
yeah, we're still taking off the rust. Wait
Yes.
till September. We'll be all right.
Still technically preseason.
Well, we will get there. We will get there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be careful though, Jim. You might want to watch out for the final 53-man cuts. Just saying.
That's true. That's true.
EJ's in big trouble, and Matt's just trying to prove a point that he'll make the roster over EJ without even showing up.
I mean, that is true. That is true. All right, student of the game, Kyle Nash. What did you learn this past weekend?
Mike explained what I learned about the ACC very well already, but I think here's what we learned up front. For those FSU people that were angry about the championship last year, they are now learning firsthand, like everybody in college football did, of why the extended playoff is better for individual schools. FSU is still not dead by any stretch of the imagination, right? Can we be clear about that? Now, granted, with the way the defensive line look, I understand why people are claiming the season's over, but this is also the ACC. And for all we know, Florida could be in a position to where they do their thing, end up in a conference championship game still, and sneak their way past to Clemson. Let's say, for example, I don't know, Notre Dame trips up on a game against the Powder Puff, as they're known to do on occasion. I'm taking shots at Florida State, not Notre Dame. Settle down.
But I don't know why we're talking about Notre Dame in terms of a conference play, but that's maybe
you see what
they be Indy.
It don't matter if they lose to an ACC team.
You know what? You're
Florida
right.
State did on Saturday.
You're right. I need to start calling them the Big Ten. Anyways, so with that in mind, what we've learned is FSU fans in particular have learned it. You're still alive to make the playoff, and I like the concept that preseason doesn't exist in college football. It's week 1A, 1B. And just take UCF for example. I use them in particular because I cover them for the Black and Gold Banneret. UCF is having their home opener Thursday.
I love it so much.
It's so great.
You're
now we're in school now.
We are, yes, 100%.
Y'all boys are so fucking proud of yourselves, and I'm okay with it.
Either that, or every time I hear that bell, I get a little hungry. But that's one
Can't be both.
Exactly. There we go. That's perfect.
Covered and smothered, bitches. Anyways,
I have to remember my popcorn every week. Because the more I hear that bell, I'm just gonna have to just.
No, but when you have week 1 and 2 for Powder Puff games, like I said, UCF's home openers against the Wildcats of New Hampshire. Okay, not expecting that to be a thriller. If it is, well, I'll have a lot to write about on the blackandgoldbanneret.com. But so
great.
Since they do the preseason in 2 tune-up games, typically, that's to get all the transfers and stuff handled, meaning teams that don't do that are at a greater risk, and you'll see that vulnerability. Yes, you're still alive. What I think this also means, though, the thing that I'm also learning is in the future, how many week 1A, aka week 0 games, for those of you that are non-believers, will be big games moving forward now that these things are the case. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's a very important lesson too. Is now, granted, Florida State a little bit more behind the 8 ball than any of the other teams that lost in week 1A. because it is a conference loss. But again, with the schedule in front of them, all you have to do is end up as one of the top 2 teams in their conference,
right?
To be eligible for the conference title game and then have a chance to win that. So yeah, they are, from a mathematical standpoint, there is no must-win game in week 1.
You're looking at me, aren't you?
That is an important.
But there is a week 0, right? No, I'm joking. But this is why this weekend, and we'll go to the schedule a little bit. Why teams like Clemson, Miami, even NC State, to Mike's credit here, are going to be on not on alert, but for me anyway, as a Florida State fan, on focus. How do they look this week? Shoot,
100%.
From there, yeah. So we'll see how that comes out. But that's the thing. The cool thing about the 12-team playoff now, it's going to create some parity to some degree now. The margin of error is now increased.
No, it's been here, EJ. It's been here.
Now it's down on steroids now.
Well, I think there's an even bigger parity here that we semi-discussed last week that may be a little bit more in play than we're thinking about right now.
What is that?
With Florida State's loss this week, depending on how things shake out, a 2 or 3 loss ACC program that wins their conference could end up as the 5 or the 6 seed, and we could get a next group of 5 team in there with a first round bye. Because if a team like Boise State or Liberty or somebody along those lines goes undefeated and finishes ahead of the ACC champion somehow, now look at them. They're going to be a 4 seed hosting whoever wins the 5-12 matchup.
That's correct.
That's the parity that I think we have to really keep an eye on. If that is Florida State's only loss and they win the conference from here on out, I don't think it's in play. But if somebody with 2 or 3 losses wins the ACC and Boise State or Liberty goes undefeated, it is.
Well, yeah, and we've seen the Big 12 be a conference that you will see some of those wild upsets in the conference title game. We've seen that in history as well. So not just to make fun of the ACC and by proxy Florida State. It does happen elsewhere as well. So there's certainly still plenty at play. The other thing for Florida State, and we'll get to the game in a little bit, is they have a second ACC matchup this weekend. So it becomes a lot more real to them this upcoming Monday. Now, a slightly easier game by all accounts, but
Can I steal an Ernest Christian?
At least on paper.
Can I steal an Ernest Christian line here?
Go ahead.
Week 1B must win.
I'll say there's no must wins in week 1A.
Jim, this guy gets it.
No, I won't even.
No, he gets it.
Won't even go that far.
I don't either, but I said use Ernest.
But he can't. But they can't go 0-2
execution than he's ever done.
But it can't go 0-2 and 0-2 in the conference, right? To shoot like that.
Excuse me.
That's a massive problem.
Stop feeding the troll, Burn. What the hell?
Yeah. I mean, look, that will certainly make their road a lot more difficult in the conference. But you're it's also going to depend on how good is Clemson, how good is Miami. Those are the other 2 real primary teams at the top.
Wolfpack. There you go. Thank you.
And then you have other teams like the Wolfpack.
But that's the only.
But
that'd be the only thing I think I'll miss about the 14 playoff. Even before that, is the fact that what made college football so special for all these years is the fact that your margin of error was that slim. You lose that one game, you're pretty much done. But I'm not saying that I don't want what we have now. I love what we have the 12-team playoff. But what made college so special for years was the fact that you had that very small margin of error.
Special? You mean erroneous so many times by this garbage ass committee? No, sir.
Oh no. The picks obviously some of them fucked up. I'm just saying just in general in terms of
So that's the saying that margin of error locked in errors. Your pardon expression, right?
Right.
But now with an expanded playoff, a team has an opportunity, being 5th or 6th or something like that, to still make noise and get a championship out of it.
It makes it hard to screw teams now. 12 teams. Harder. It can still happen. But
perhaps not the best choice of words when you're talking about screwing and I'm saying harder. But hold on, question.
No, it applies on this show. We're okay with that. This is not of the game.
Last thing I'd like to say I learned how not to do a revenge tour. Jim?
That is accurate as well. What I learned is that Sheamus may be my new favorite WWE wrestler.
Not so chumps. We're in Dublin City. We're in Ireland. I got to go with the Fighting Irish Notre Dame.
I'm telling you, right?
Listen, last year, this street here, Dame Street, is one of the most historic streets in this city. They changed this street from Dame Street to Notre Dame Street. And Marcus Freeman he's created a culture at Notre Dame at South Band, which is unbelievable. He's going to be the guy to bring the gold back. And there's going to be two ND plates on this championship at the end of the year.
I love that.
Let's go Irish!
That's terrible. And just like that, Shane's the worst wrestler in history of WWE. There we go.
I'm
Boom.
kidding.
Thank you.
I'm kidding. My what did we learn? Because I figured somebody else would dunk on Florida State, and well done by pretty much the entire
world.
That was all burn.
Here.
My what did we learn? Because there wasn't a lot to learn in college football this past week, and mine comes from the NFL. Particularly, my favorite team is the Trey Lance experiment should be over in Dallas. That guy sucks out loud. I'm fine with the trade of basically nothing. I think it was like a 4th round pick, 5th round pick that you gave up to get him. Bring him in, see what he can do. Let's try, in at least in theory, the guy lost his job because he got hurt. Now we found out it's just because he stinks. So we should just move on and forget this preseason ever happened because it was brutal.
The starting quarterback for your Vegas Vipers.
Holy
number
cow.
7, Trey Lance.
I think they can even do better than that.
No, I that's not bad, Jim. I think, by the way, as an aside, I appreciate that you have 3 Count Thursday and you do what you do on those particular shows to keep me at least, at arm's length of the wrestling space. Because I did not know that there was such correlation between the WWE and the Simpsons, because why else would you waste my time showing that fucking Homer?
Thank you.
No.
Homer.
There it is.
There it is.
By the way,
yeah.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Back to Florida State. The worst part about that whole thing.
Oh yeah, the more you want to talk about Florida State losing this past weekend, you can interrupt.
So here was the worst part about the whole thing that I'm losing on Saturday. The friend who I went to the concert with on Saturday was also a Georgia Tech fan as well, like a literal hardcore Tech fan.
Okay, that is.
So the entire night.
I'm really glad that Pat dunked on you.
Yeah, Pat all fucking night. Oh, you see the game last? You see the game? See the game? See the game? Oh, June Munfane said, "Hey, Ernest, hey, check it out. You see the game?
Hey, Ernest, you want this glass of water? It only costs you 3 points."
Damn.
That's
so
good.
That's the worst part. Was the timing, the circumstance of timing. It's horrible.
I keep thinking of what the worst part of Florida State losing week 1A, and I literally just can't think of anything. That's.
By the way,
there's too many, right?
I want the record to show that EJ Christian mentions his favorite guitarist. I'd like to mention my favorite bass player and my favorite keyboard player, and that's Jonathan Cain and Ross Valway.
I'm done.
We finally broke him. We
see.
I was wondering what it would take.
I hit him in the music where he lives. That's what got him.
That is a deep burn.
Can you imagine that every time you hear a Neil Sean guitar solo now, you're going to think of that? You're welcome. Oh, what can I say except
I got you.
I hate you so much, Kyle.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Yes, Andrew. Took me for years. I'm broken.
I'm not gonna say exactly what I'm shocked about, but I'm surprised we've made it 29 minutes.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. All right. I do need to get some sort of sound drop for the what did we learn. I got to do some research. I'm going to give myself some homework for the long
Hit him with the more you know.
Yeah. If nothing else, I do have that, but I'm sure I can find something.
Make Kyle ride in the kazoo.
But all right, let's look at week 1B in college football. A full slate, actually a bunch of games on Thursday night. Games Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday this week. So we are all the way back this week. But the biggest ones take place starting on Saturday. We will start there. Noon Eastern time, ABC. This game being played in Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Number 14, Clemson at number 1, Georgia, who is a 13.5 point favorite. 48.5 is your over-under. Kyle, go ahead. We'll start with you.
Listen, it's not often I take the over for an SEC game involvement, but I'm going to here simply because I just see Georgia trouncing Clemson like that. I have no reason to believe in the trench warfare being in any favor of the Tigers in that case. And I just want to make Jim happy so he can talk about how much Dabo sucks. So yeah,
Can't wait. EJ.
Bart Scott, I like it.
Oh, this is easy for me. Georgia also the over and the cover as well too. I think Georgia will beat the living shit out of Clemson.
Yeah, I think the cover was assumed in my answer as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kyle, sorry, Mikey B.
First off, our good friend and confidant Matt took UGA and the over. I join in the party, UGA and the over.
Yeah, I got Georgia on with the cover and the over as well. I also think here it's not only is Georgia just that much better than I think Clemson is and is going to be. I also think that there's a bit of, and I understand new year, different team, different players. There's still a lot of guys who probably think that they should have belonged in the college football playoff last year. And I think this is going to be I don't care that we lost to Alabama. This is how good we can be when we're Georgia football game.
I'm not mad at them thinking that they're better than teams that participated. I don't agree, even as an SEC elitist that I can be sometimes on this show and others, including the student of the game. But
I love it. I can help him. Sorry.
Love it so much. I know. I'm gonna smile about that for weeks.
You know what's funny is you guys smile about this like I smile when Jim says, "Well, you care." So I mean, it's a whole thing.
Well, fuck you, Kyle.
Damn, I didn't even say anything that time.
32 minutes.
People to know what he was referring to.
Oh, well, that still counts to.
It does count.
But damn, I was going somewhere with that. I got thrown off.
The Georgia, yeah, no, I'm not. I also don't believe that Georgia should have been in last year because again, when not only do losses have consequences, but when you lose have consequences, and who you lose to. So again, when there's only 4 spots and there's a team who beat the team who beat you, and those 3 teams and Florida State have to fit into 2 spots,
it's a problem.
Georgia's going to be the odd person out there because you unfortunately lost to a team who lost to Texas, and yeah, you just can't fit 5 teams in a 4-team playoff. So again, that's why the 12-team playoff is better because you do have that ability to, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be really good.
Yeah.
To get in.
I'm looking at Andrew in the comments too, real quick, Jim. The fact that it's only 13.5 is a great point by him. I too am surprised like that. It is the opposite of a slight over. I think
Evan's got Georgia and the over as well there.
You know what? You said it fine. I'll add only this, Jim. That's why the playoffs here. This is why everybody, including Joel Klatt, this show, EJ, everywhere,
and rightly so,
that the playoff is aboard. This is the reason it's here. And so there you go.
Yeah, and again, it's not so big that it waters down the product.
I agree.
It's I think 12 is going to end up. I think really 12. My fear is they'll eventually expand it to 16. That's my own personal fear.
We do not want that. I agree.
I do not want that. I think I would have liked to have seen them start at 8, and then you could expand to 12 if you needed.
If you're like me, though, and you don't want the bowl games to die, you love 12 because all the people that complain, oh, well, you're extending it too long.
There's more relevant bowl games, right?
Let's be clear about this. The other 4 teams that wouldn't be in the 8-game playoff would be playing in a bowl game, and half the fucking squad would be, opting out. You know a little bit about that, don't you, FSU fan?
Correct.
Andrews' playoff should have been 6 to start with. Yeah, I mean, I always thought 4 was too little. And yeah, I think 16 would be too many.
Better than 2,
for as big as these games can be. But all right, next game.
Better than the BSC, what EJ was saying.
Well, that's the thing that me and Miss Big Jim we're talking about. It's like, 12 is better than 4. 4 is better than the BCS. Somehow the BCS was still kind of better than just a bunch of people throwing darts at a wall. So
damn straight.
We're
and the crowd
constantly improving, but now we got here.
And the crowd says amen. Bomb line.
now we got here.
Yeah.
All right. Next game, it is the big noon on Fox. Number 8 Penn State. They're an 8.5-point road favorite at West Virginia. 51.5 is your over under on this one. Mikey B, we'll start with you.
Matt has Penn State and the under.
Ouch, that must have hurt him.
My pick here. Almost Heaven, West Virginia.
Damn, dude.
The James Franklin hot seat that Matt talked about on this show last week gets even hotter. Give me
God.
West Virginia plus the points. Give me West Virginia outright. They defend home turf. Give me the Mountaineers and give me the under.
Damn, you're barely keeping Franklin's family fed. See, because you called them the Mountaineers. It's a Beverly Hillbillies reference. God damn it. Anyways.
Very good. Very good. EJ.
Very gutsy there, Mike, but I think Cool Head prevail here. I think Penn State to cover, and I got the under.
All right. Kyle.
Okay. Fellas, I'm not going to go full Mikey Byrne. Let me be clear.
However,
I do find myself more and more.
I don't know if that's a fear or that he lost his camera again.
I know. I was thinking like,
y'all keep calling out the production, but we can go through. Oh, I'm sorry. You're not professionals. It's EJ. Anyways,
I just
you're making laughs. It's cool. I get it. No, but listen, joking aside and dunking on EJ aside and all of that, Byrne, here's the question I have for you, right? The great and powerful coupons. I find myself looking at Penn State games more like I look at games quarterbacked by one Kirk Coupons. The fact that scenario exists, I know how you get to where you get. They're not going to win outright. You're asking me to believe in West Virginia an awful lot. I can't do that. But what I will tell you is they damn sure cover, and it's going to be a sloppier game than you would expect, even though it involves a Big 12 team. I'm going to go with the under on this one. I'm going to be risky.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck's going on with my
you look
external
closer
camera
to us.
Yeah, it's because now I'm using the camera that's in my computer. I have
this is called redundancy, security fan. Security van. This guy has an actual production studio.
Yeah, I have another camera that apparently is malfunctioning tonight. So
unfortunately, they can't put in our budget here.
We go back with old
here it goes with the reason why you got budget problems is because you can't bet worth a shit, you degenerate.
Sugar-free ice cream, motherfucker.
You're nothing but a degenerate.
Look, here's the deal. Would I love for West Virginia to pull the full-on upset? I absolutely would. What I think will happen is I think this game is going to be closer than 8.5. So I'm going to take West Virginia to cover the 8.5. I think Penn State wins by a field goal, maybe 6 points. It's going to make the hot seat warmer. And it will get hotter as the year goes on, I think. But I think Penn State does win, and I will take the under in this game. Because I do think if West Virginia is going to have a chance, they are going to have to control Penn State's offense and keep them off the board of it.
There will be some singed lower body hairs the next time James Franklin sits down. That's what
that is correct. Devin has Penn State in the under. Andrew, Penn State fan, mind you. PSU over cover. Franklin won't lose to West Virginia. He gets beaten by good coaches and top 10 teams, neither of which is West Virginia. That is at least an accurate statement, at least the part about Franklin.
Remember, I didn't say he would lose. I said he wouldn't cover.
Yeah, Michael's here shooting hot takes here.
All right. Next one, EJ's team, number 19, Miami. They're a 2.5-point road favorite at Florida. Well, they should be now, EJ. This one,
No,
3:30
never.
Eastern time on ABC. 54 is your over on. Is your over under on this one, Kyle?
I'm sorry, I got thrown off by Andrew's comment of I'm a fan and a homer, but a realist. See,
how's that work?
By definition, fan stands for fanatic. I'm just gonna.
I was gonna say I am a fan / fanatic and homer with a lot of my teams.
You're a masochist.
Well, that's only with the Dallas Cowboys.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're not talking NFL.
The other teams, I'm fairly realist on.
Getting back on track though, yeah. I'm going back to the 90s. I'm going to pick Miami in this ball game. It's not that I don't believe in Billy Napier. I just don't believe in the team he's recruited and built so far. And Gators, listen, please prove me wrong. I know I have a lot of people in the Orlando area due to my coverage of the black and gold banneret that think you are kind of a little too cocky for that UCF game coming up in the first week of October, where I will be in Gainesville. But I see Miami doing this particular game well. I think Florida comes out flat. I'm going to take the under just because I think there will be enough bad football to keep the score that low. But I think Miami wins. And let's see, they're giving 2.5 points, right? So, yeah. What's that?
No, go ahead.
I didn't. I'm making.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure I'm getting it right because I'm not a degenerate. I'm sorry.
Yes, they are. Miami's a 2.5-point favorite.
Yeah. So yeah, I think they cover too. What the hell? Let's do it.
All right, EJ.
I am curious how bad Florida is. I know you guys saw the overrun number for this year, 4.5.
We did talk about it on the student on Earnestly Speaking, right, EJ?
Did. And I was shocked, and then I saw the schedule. I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That being said, how bad is your team versus the schedule? I don't know. So this is one of the games for the week I'm looking at in terms of like just how bad they are. That being said, Miami, I take the cover, and I'll take an easy under.
All right.
I got to go to the comments and give Andrew some love. He gave an answer I have to accept. You're forced to be a realist and not a fan when you host a pod. As a 49ers fan that's covering a team that Trent Baalke now is the freaking general manager of, you have to do that very
Wait. So what's Mike's excuse then?
Really, dude?
You're a massive homer. Massive homer, the Bengals.
Okay, but yes, and all of you cost my team a chance of winning the fucking Super Bowl last year when you all picked them. So please do me a favor and don't do it the fuck again.
You ain't lying.
We'll find out next Wednesday.
Yeah, spoiler alert. You're
somebody else, Ricky Bobby.
You're safe from me this year, Mike.
I think that might be the angriest I've seen Mikey Bird on this show.
I'm just mad at Ernest.
Why? What I do?
That's fair. Mikey B, Miami and Florida.
Our good friend Matt has his ACC champions, the U, and he has an under. I myself accidentally misread when I read the run sheet from Big Jim. I thought this was 7.5, and I still had the U covering 2.5. You're goddamn right, I do. And with that being said, I think that this is going to be an absolute trouncing. 54 feels like a lot, but you know what? Yeah, 54 feels like a lot, but I think Miami's defense probably scores 21 by themselves. Give me the over.
Damn, Mike.
Wow.
I don't think this Florida team is good. I really don't.
I don't either.
Yeah, Devin says he's a big ass homer when it comes to the Dolphins.
You don't say, Devin.
We know.
You don't say.
Do we have a Captain Obvious on the soundboard there, too?
I think we just needed to clip your duh from last week.
I don't think we have. Yeah, we don't have any Captain Obvious.
Definitely.
But I do have a Charlie Sheen duh.
Well, okay, I'll just voice act. In with love, Devin. Duh.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm definitely taking Miami to cover the 2.5 and get the win. I'm gonna say a slight under. Because I don't like Miami's odds at scoring 50 points. Okay, so
the U is back, baby.
Let me just say, even though I do have them as my ACC champion, I don't I don't know if they can score 50 in week 1B. I'm not sure.
Very curious about that game, though. I'm very curious.
Devin says, EJ, shut the hell up. We all know you jump on bandwagon after bandwagon.
Allegedly, Devin. Calm down.
Allegedly.
Love
He's
it.
not wrong.
I say let's give him he ain't lying.
He ain't lying.
All right. Saturday night, 7:30 Eastern time, ABC. It is number 7 Notre Dame. They travel to number 20 Texas A&M, who is a 3-point home favorite. 46.5 is your over/under on this one. Mikey B, we'll start with you.
Matt has Notre Dame in the under. I have the Fighting Irish and a slight over.
Slight. EJ.
Much it pains me to say this, I have Notre Dame winning outright.
What are you talking about, Irish?
Calm down. Don't feed the Devin's conspiracy theories here, okay? Sounds very Trumpy. Careful.
Not a conspiracy when it's true.
Sounds like very Trumpy. Very Trumpy.
I've built the wall and made you pay for it. Okay.
China. All right. Anyway, give me Notre Dame
China
outright, and give me the over.
All right, Kyle.
Listen, Jim, because you think I'm this big Notre Dame hater, I'm going to say it right now. Who the fuck favored A&M in this game? What the shit are we doing here?
It doesn't make sense to me.
I don't give a shit. Lubbock, Texas, Lubbock this,
Mini Vegas,
Lubbock the moon. I could give a damn. You expect me to believe that Texas A&M in the trenches can compete with what they do there in Notre Dame? What the? No, hell no. Did I just voice act Tracy Morgan there? Anyway,
that was pretty good.
No,
very black.
hell no.
Very black of me. Well, I mean, hey, compared to the Trumper over here, of course I am. Anyways,
don't be rude.
Way to go, a-hole.
I do think the under is the appropriate play here. But the best bet is over. The best is cover. It's actually outright win for Notre Dame. Duh.
It is an A&M, right? Just to be clear, right?
It is.
Yes, that takes Texas A&M.
Right. Yeah, so Notre Dame all day. Jim,
even theoretically, so on a neutral field, they're saying this is a push.
Pick 'em, yeah.
This is asinine. This is Vegas exposing that they know shit about what to expect.
Don't smoke crack.
I mean, don't do meth. That's my advice.
Right, exactly. Yeah, just I don't understand it.
Don't do math.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah, Notre Dame win outright, cover, all of that. I will go under on the points.
Interesting.
I think Notre Dame's offense has the potential to be very explosive this year. A lot of good, a lot of positive predictions for coming out of Notre Dame writers out of camp in terms of the wide receiver core. But because of the environment, I think they are going to try to play a lot more ball control and wear the game out in the trenches, because that is where they exceed. I'm a little nervous about their offensive line. They already suffered an injury, season injury to their starting left tackle. So I think there's going to be an adjustment there at the start of the game. So they've luckily God has graced the Midwest with extremely high temps and humid conditions this weekend or this week. So the weather should hopefully not be a factor. They are apparently the volume of music and marching band sounds has been cranked up to obscene volumes at practice this week. So they're trying to prepare for all of the elements that they will experience down there at Kyle Field. But it's you can't totally simulate it until you're there. Yeah, I believe it is Kyle Field.
So wait. So if it's Kyle Field, when you heard about this game, did you say, well, you care?
No. If Notre Dame would happen to slip up and lose, it will be a big
Well, you, Kyle.
Yeah.
But I hope to not have to experience that.
Peace to you too, Mike. What's up?
Devin has the Fighting Irish in the over. Yeah, that's 2 hits of the.
It's 2, EJ. You like that better?
It takes 2 to make things go right, right?
Something like that. Something like that.
You were out of sight. Oh no!
Oh, my boy! I want to rock right now. Look at that.
Got him,
my boy.
All right, then we go to Sunday night, 7:30 Eastern time on ABC from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. It is number 23 USC at playing against number 13 LSU, who's a 4.5-point favorite. 64 is your over/under on this one. Student of the game, Kyle Nash. We'll start with you.
Imagine there'll be a lot of redneck jokes because they're down there in the South, because they'll be scoring all over the place, and it also heavily involves the word family. Family. Take the damn over. I don't care if it's 64. I said what I said. As to actually wins the game, this is probably the toughest one for me to pick this week, if I'm being honest. But let me go. Oh, shenanigans. Screw it. I'll pick Kelly. Why not? Some of the guys on the team will actually play defense, which is more than I could say for Lincoln Riley and company. But yeah, if Lincoln Riley and company are to win, it will be a shootout.
I was going to say, I don't care that they're a Big Ten team. They don't know how to play defense yet.
So, thank you.
EJ.
Yeah, the over is actually the easiest bet here, honestly, on the board. I think LSU wins a blowout.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm sure they're glad to hear that, and that you're also a member of the family on this front.
Family.
Mikey B.
Matt has LSU and the under. I have LSU in the under because here's the deal. USC can't play defense, but who the hell knows if they can play offense?
Wow.
LSU in a rout.
Betting hard against
it. I do agree with that part, though, the route part.
Betting hard against Lincoln Riley. Okay.
31-10 feels like a great final score.
Again, not here to say you're wrong. I'm just not prepared to abandon faith in Lincoln Riley yet from the offensive perspective. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I don't know what their offense is going to be.
Do we know who their quarterback is now that Caleb Williams is a Bear?
I've heard the name and now I forget what it is.
I don't know anything about.
Let's ask ChatGPT.
It's John David Booty's illegitimate love child.
Miller Moss.
Moss, that's it. Yeah.
Miller Moss.
So I mean, first of all, it sounds like a comic book hero super name.
I was going to say that sounds like a fake name. Like that sounds like a name that like
Miller Moss.
Miller Moss. That sounds like a name that EA Sports would generate in the old NCAA games before you could actually have player names in them.
Mm-hmm. So you're gonna bet against somebody that was trained by Batman as a protege? No, thank you.
Right. I mean the problem for Miller Moss, what his alleged name anyway, is that LSU does play defense. So I will still go over because I think there will probably be defensive points scored on one side of the ball. I'm definitely taking LSU to win because despite what Kyle wants to say, I do believe in games Brian Kelly coaches at least against teams ranked under 20.
Not in the SEC.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, no,
relax.
Relax. I did pick LSU, did I not?
You did.
Yes.
You did.
You did. I think we all did, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we all did. But I don't know. I don't ultimately know what USC is going to be this year. But I'm fairly certain they will not be better than LSU week 1. So
more information on Mr. Miller, not Randy Moss. He is a junior, been with the team since 2021. And that's all I got for you.
Where's he from?
He's had some off seasons under Lincoln Riley. I mean,
he's been there since 2021. So he's been, I don't know. That's all I got for you.
All right. And then last one, and the one that probably makes EJ the most nervous, is Boston College traveling to Tallahassee to play. Luckily for EJ, still number 10 Florida State Seminoles, because they don't they don't redo the polls after week 1A.
So they could course correct.
So Florida State, for now, still number 10 in the country.
Yeah, bitch.
Probably not for long. They are a 17-point home favorite. 50 is your over-under on this one. It is Monday night, 7:30 Eastern Time, ESPN. Mikey B, we'll start with you.
Matt has Boston College and the over.
Standard.
Wait, now do you know if that's just a cover? Did he actually pick them to win?
No, I believe it's just a cover.
Okay.
I would love to sit here and take Boston College outright. I am a psychopath, but I don't think I am that big of a psychopath.
Hold on, Vern.
That's Jim's rule.
Well, I'll wait my turn, and maybe Mike will change his pick once I talk.
I love Psycho Sid. Rest in peace, bud.
Rest in peace, brother. Yes, absolutely.
Justice was my favorite wrestler for a time.
But I think the way I look at it, I'm going to take the under because Florida State proved they can't score in Dublin. I think that carries over because of the travel back to the Eastern Seaboard. I'm going to take Boston College plus the points.
Okay.
They had an extra week to get ready for this Florida State team. They've watched them now play a game in the regular season. I think those things go the way. I think Florida State, and I'm going to say this word, escapes with a win. But I think Boston College covers.
Okay. All right. EJ.
You do have an FSU sound bite for this year. Didn't you add one recently?
I did.
Florida State Seminole Vesicles.
Anyway, I'm going to go straight home here. I'm going to get FSU to cover because they need to turn things around fast. But I'll agree with Mikey here and get to the under as well.
All right. Let's do the game, Kyle Nash.
I got to tell you, Mike, I'm a little bit disappointed. First of all, you talking about not being able to score that much by the Seminoles is a little bit of disrespect for what the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets have done to improve themselves vastly with the involvement of former UCF coaching staff member Brent Key, now running the show there in Georgia. So I think you're underplaying that. I think you're also underplaying how bad the defensive line was and how much Georgia Tech took advantage of it. The colors are similar, my bad. Here's the other thing. You do realize that the alleged playoff contention FSU Seminoles only beat Tommy Castellanos by a single point.
Mm-hmm.
And now Tommy Castellanos is starting. Not only is that a testament to how bad the ACC is, but you expect me to believe that with a worse defensive line, FSU still escapes? Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, Kyle, why don't you pick them? I'm not that brave. But they definitely cover, and I'm definitely going with the under in this particular game. But FSU sneaks by, and then EJ comes in here pumping his chest, kind of like a Notre Dame fan being excited about beating Pitt in triple overtime.
We're back, baby.
Yes, number 3.
Gosh. My gosh. I'm just out here catching strays when Florida State sucks. That's weird.
But it's a good analogy. At the very least.
God, I want to pick Boston College to win so bad. I really do. Fuck it. Boston College covers and wins outright. Then we really talk about
Stay on brand, buddy.
Season's over next week. That's what we're going to start talking about next week. And it'll be the under because it's similar to the West Virginia Penn State game. If Boston College wants a chance in this one, they have to keep Florida State from scoring. You're not going to beat them in a shootout. You're just not. So
it is DJ Uyunglele.
Well, that's true. The shootout might actually just be him throwing touchdowns to Boston College corners. That might also be the thing. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, not to be rude, but I'm going to be rude a little bit.
Don't be rude.
So that's where we leave this week in college football. One more thing before we get out of here tonight, and let's do some locks, gentlemen.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right. We are looking at the weekend ahead. What is one thing that will happen this weekend, Kyle?
I think I'm going to double down and make one of my picks from the game here. The thing that will happen to lock it up officially. Boston College covers FSU.
Very good.
Lock it up.
EJ.
Revisiting some of my picks here in the LSU USC game is that after this weekend, when LSU blows out USC, the Lincoln Riley hot seat will get scorching hot from the media.
There's a Lincoln Riley hot seat?
Yes, there's a little Feinbaum talking about a lot. There's a lot of people talk about him.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to need more.
I know you like Feinbaum. I get it.
I'm going to need more examples than Paul Feinbaum.
There's a little bit of that,
That's
though.
right, Q, buddy. Zero.
I think the talk rises up a little more after this week, whether he's the right fit for USC.
I mean,
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's
kind of a wimpy lock, if I'm being honest. Like that's the thing.
I'm just saying the media will play that up after this weekend.
That's
in other words,
Now wait.
This doesn't frame it.
Remind me again to your pick. Did you have LSU winning in a rout or close?
Yes, in a blowout.
I would say a rout. Yes.
So overreaction.
Okay. All right. If it's a rout, I get it may be a talking point. The only thing that actually might save some of that talking point is A, Florida State losing again. B, it's going to be the start of the NFL season this week. So for Lincoln Riley's sake, it might actually be a little quieter because a lot of people are going to be talking more about the start of the NFL season than what happens Sunday night when there's again a Florida State loss on Monday, and then we get into NFL week. So I'm not saying it won't be there, especially from the genius work of Paul Feinbaum, but
I agree with the NFL take though, Jim. Like if there was an NFL game this weekend, which there is not because it doesn't happen until after Labor Monday, right? Or excuse me, Memorial Monday, right? So or not Memorial,
Labor Day.
Labor
Day.
Punchline is, I don't think there's enough NFL distraction, and part of why.
What I mean by that is that with you come out of Monday night, you have Tuesday, Wednesday, and then kickoff on Thursday to the NFL, plus a game on Friday. I think a lot of especially with no normal Monday sports talk, I think that the sports talk in those 3 business days to start the week is going to be about NFL kickoff.
Right.
There will be some, let's look back at what happened in college this weekend, but I think there's going to be a lot more NFL.
And to Jim's point, like having other teams get upset, but as I said in my picks, though, I think everything else was chalk.
Right, yeah. In Ernest's case, if Florida State wins, then there could be a little bit of then I think that could be a bit of a talking point. But yeah, if USC loses but Florida State loses, I think Florida State's more the talk on Tuesday morning.
Of course, yeah.
Because then the sky's falling.
But
right?
It's 0-2 now. Now you're 0-2 now.
It's dependent on how Lincoln Riley answers the question on his Monday press conference, how the rest of the day goes. Just a little bit of inside information there on how that typically works in a college space. So still feel like that lock, while it's pretty easy, I don't know that I would trust that lock on my kid's scooter. Okay.
And to be clear, I think it's an overreaction anyway, regardless of how it plays out with other games.
That actually
the media go media. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, again, we know what you're saying. It's just that's like kind of saying the sky is blue as a lock. I'm just
right.
That was a heck of an effort.
Thanks, buddy.
Mikey B, what is going to happen this weekend?
Am I allowed to use 2 here because I have 2 that I want to.
Let's not make it a habit, but since Matt's not here, let's do it.
Cool. Hot take number 1 and the lock of number 1. The Colorado Buffaloes will not cover 10 points against North Dakota State on Thursday.
Lock it up.
Be a real shame, too.
And number 2,
be nice, Jim.
There's another team in the Big 12 that won't cover their point spread, and it's the 17th ranked Oklahoma State Cowboys. They don't cover 9.5 against South Dakota State. The North-South Dakota combo give both of the Big 12 teams runs for their money in week 1.
Hey, that's Oklahoma State. Be careful.
Come after me.
And Let's see. Jason here in the comments, he said Miami loses, Clemson loses, USC gets destroyed. So
2 out of 3 ain't bad, as they say.
2 out of 3. He asks also, is Colorado bowl worthy this season? I don't think so.
It's going to be close.
They'll win more than 4 games this year. So
yeah, 5 is more than 4. That's how math works.
Right. So I think they'll win between 6 and 6 is a sweet spot.
Okay. Their season could be made or broke if they lose to North Dakota State week.
Oh, without question.
Oh yeah. I mean, if they lose this week,
they should go 4-1 to start the year.
First of all, Mike, I dig you doing your damnedest to avoid sitting on the fence. Respect to hell and back. Okay. But I think the real game that will make or break that once, assuming you don't pull a Lions over Chiefs like you did to open NFL last year out of your ass. I really think what'll decide Colorado's fate on that question is the UCF game. I really do. If UCF is what people are trying to sell me as somebody who covers UCF for the Black and Gold Banneret, Colorado should not survive that game. So,
that damn Bill.
So after the UCF game, things get real for Colorado.
My point exactly.
Yeah, because after that they have 5 games against teams. Now, granted, preseason polls, heck, we know how much they are not
Your favorite.
They're not written on because they had Florida State at 10. But coming, after the UCF game, they have they host number 18 Kansas State, at number 21 Arizona, host Cincinnati, at Texas Tech, host number 12 Utah.
Utes?
The
what?
At 22 Kansas State.
Did you say Utes?
All right, at Kansas, and then they host number 17 Oklahoma State to close out the year. So I mean, those are 5 games that until proven otherwise, I'm already considering a loss. So they're 7-5 before the season even starts.
At best,
that's a tight window, man.
At best, 7-5. They have to travel to Nebraska. They have to travel to UCF.
Here's the thing: I already know. I already see Kyle balking. This is year 2 of Matt Rule. He did it at Temple. He did.
I'm not going that
at Baylor.
I'm not going to go from that distance. I'm just saying they have to travel to the games that are 50-50s in that opening stretch. They're home against North Dakota State.
Why UCF's tough. The bounce out, the underappreciated.
Yeah, that is a hard game
in the whole country. Period. Point blank. Story.
Absolutely, and I think that's going to give them fucking fits.
Yeah,
and also something that you don't see when just looking at the opponents. There's only 4 games on their schedule right now that have start times. Okay, like we've seen silly, stupid things happen in Big 12 games, especially at night. Like now, granted, they could be a team that does pull an upset. I'm not saying that they can't. But I mean, they start the year with 3 primetime games. Then they close the year at a noon game on Thanksgiving weekend. But yeah, it's. I have them. Yeah, I have them at 7-5 at best. Nebraska, I think, can be a challenging game. At Colorado State, we saw last year they lost that game at home. Now they're going on the road to it at night.
That was the game they blew that big lead, right? That was the team they
So it's personally, I don't think they're going to make a bowl game. I don't.
Bottom line, they need 6 wins to make a bowl game.
Well, absolutely. And
that's an excellent effort there, EJ.
Yeah, like obviously, thank you. That
was a heck of an effort.
That's how math works.
Thank you,
but and let's be honest too. Again, in a business of college football, 6 wins, Coach Prime in Colorado are absolutely going to find a bowl home.
6 wins and a bowl game. There's going to be like thought process of putting them on like back end of the schedule bowl game, not like here's the Myrtle Beach Bowl in.
Listen, homie, it'll be the most attended Gasparilla Bowl of all time.
100% facts.
Yeah,
facts.
Jason also says Baylor can score points as well. Yeah. So if Colorado doesn't get better defensively,
death tax in the over.
I was gonna say definitely.
It's the trenches, right? And you want to throw Matt Rule at me, and that's cute, but let's give Dion some credit for improving a program 5 games, and with a complete reboot. Let's see if the reboot actually worked, right? And now that he's concentrating on the trenches to protect his own son's life, I might add, he might be motivated to do a good job. And again, I'm not, a Colorado stan by any stretch of the imagination, but if you expect me to have faith in Nebraska, I'm sorry.
Well, okay. Here's the deal. I'm not saying cash in your futures on Nebraska winning the Big Ten title. Okay, like I'm not. That's not what I'm saying here. I am saying that he took over a 2-10 Temple team that went 6-6 the next year, and then went 2 back-to-back 10-win seasons. He went to Baylor at 1-11 and made them 7-6 and 11-3. So like, it's. I don't think it's a far stretch to think Nebraska, who is 5-7, could be a 7-win team, 8-win team. I haven't looked at their schedule.
I mean, if you're going to bring up Temple, let's bring up Jackson State for Dion. I mean, what are we doing here?
I mean, that's fine, but it was.
I'm not making fun of Temple.
No. I'm just saying that in traveling to Nebraska is also, again, like Mikey's point, is going to be a little bit harder than if they were coming to Colorado.
Of course.
But all right, and then my lock of the week, at least one top 10 team will lose to an unranked opponent this week.
Let's go Boston College.
That's
also,
right.
Also, I have Nebraska's schedule up right now.
All right, hit it.
UTEP, Colorado, Northern Iowa, Illinois, at Purdue, Rutgers, at Indiana, at Ohio State, home against UCLA, at USC, home against Wisconsin, on the road at Iowa.
What I hear you doing is exposing the Big Ten for a bunch of weakness that it has in certain parts of it.
But it also exposes the fact that Matt Rule could very easily win 7 or 8 of those.
Yeah,
games.
I mean, until the back 5 on that schedule, that's a fairly easy road.
Especially when it's UTEP at home, Colorado at home, Northern Iowa at home, and Illinois.
Yeah, they don't travel until the last week of September.
I'll make sure,
and then it's 2 per don't.
Well, yeah, okay. Listen, I'll make sure not to make reservations for them at the Cure Bowl. Okay,
there you go. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. But all right. Anything else, gentlemen, before we wrap it up this week?
Nah, fam, I'm good.
All right, Mikey B, tell them where they can follow you, bud.
You can hit me up on Twitter at They Call Me Burn. You can listen to me do wrestling talk with our friend Jim on the Take 3 Wrestling podcast. You can listen to me talk fantasy football with my good friend Ryan, FKC Fantasy Hour. Going to get one of those recorded since we just had our draft. Otherwise, you can hang out and listen to me do stuff in the chat coming up in the next couple weeks as I will be going off of the screen.
Burn, aren't you forgetting something?
Oh, tomorrow night on the Student of the Game podcast, I talk about the Cincinnati Bengals and maybe 1 or 2 other teams, depending on.
No, we're clear. We're clear.
Oh, you never confirmed. Good. I don't have to sit here and try to tell you about how I like the Baltimore Ravens. Woo.
Yeah, I actually just recorded with Nicholas Jorgensen of the Ghoul Clued podcast over there in Denmark just today, so we can have the Ravens accounted for. And
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to fucking talk about Lamar Jackson being a great quarterback.
You can't handle the truth.
Exactly.
I was just said that I was going to talk about him being a great quarterback. Now I don't have to.
There you go. There you go.
You don't have to handle the truth. I don't see what
he does not. Ernest DJ Christian, let him know.
DJ Christian 7 on Twitter /X. Fuck you, Matt. I'm gonna say anyway. YouTube page at youtube.com/Ernest Christian. Other than that, I will see you guys next Wednesday.
So now I know exactly why you're stuck in a security van. That's not your job. That's not your studio. You live there because you have subjected your life to drug abuse on X.
Yes.
X gonna give it to him.
That's right.
No, apparently it's going to take it from him, Mikey Byrne.
Thank you.
All right, student of the game, Kyle Nash, let him know.
An honor, joy, and privilege to jump in, gentlemen, and do the huddle up thing one time here. NFL football coming soon. We'll be previewing that next week. I'm stoked for it. Speaking of previews, the AFC North on the Student of the Game podcast, 9 o'clock Wednesday. That should be a fun time. Also, I haven't determined a time yet, but there will be another episode of the Duval Devout. I'm going to assume it's Friday. Look out for me on my socials, which are at the SOTG on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. That's Twitter for those of us that avoid drug abuse, EJ. And then also as the Student of the Game on Facebook. Check out my writings, brand new, by the way, at Fans First Sports Network. I dropped a piece on the top performers for the Jacksonville Jaguars preseason and the guys that made the biggest case for their roster spots. Thought it would be appropriate to talk about that, something a little bit more positive than guys losing their jobs today in the NFL with the final 53-man cut. But the Duval Devout did talk about today with the Duval Dive podcast. Heading into this podcast with my friend Travis Holmes of Big Cat Country, we talked about the biggest snubs of the Jaguars roster with News 4 Jack's own Jamal St. Cyr. That was a great time. Make sure you check that out on especially if you check it out via podcast on the Fans First Sports Network. That's a good time. And, of course, my work with the Black and Gold Banneret covering UCF on the Night Shift podcast as well. That drops on Tuesdays typically on your podcast catchers. And, of course, I will be covering UCF hosting New Hampshire, the Wildcats of New Hampshire, in person at the Bounce House. Look out for the Night Shift Live as I give you a reaction on the Black and Gold Banneret YouTube channel.
All right. And you can get me at Big Jim Sports. Make sure you are following along with the show at Huddle Up Podcast, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. You can get us on Instagram as well at Huddle Up Podcast Inc. We also have our show streaming live on Twitch every week. So you can get us there at Huddle Up Inc. on Twitch. Get your merchandise over at tpublic.com. But make sure you are subscribed to the show, all podcast platforms. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Tell your friends to get along with us. We had a great viewership tonight. We appreciate everyone who's been following along with us throughout the show. We definitely appreciate the support. Until next week, again, we will be on the simulcast Student of the Game show Wednesday night. We'll be back to Tuesday the following, but we look forward to joining you then. Until next time, stay safe, stay smart, and as always, go for the win.